Next inductee I'd like to bring up is Bill Fredrick, who is instrumental in instituting the Mid-States program and Chaminade High School in particular, amongst many other hockey teams. He told me he once had the privilege of seeing 28 high school games in a week, 3 Blues games, and 2 Billiken games. And that's a lot of hockey. And his wife Nadine, daughter Rebecca, son-in-law Zaven, grandson Zaven Jr. and Gene and Zaven the Third, along with Mira, are here and friends. And that's Ken and Mary Funk. And I'd like to bring up Bill Fredrick.
Good evening, hockey fans and friends. Thanks to the Board of Directors of the Hall of Famers, the committee that selected me to become an inductee. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. I got into hockey in 1968 after my son had beat the heck out of my 3-iron and my 4-iron, using them as a hockey stick. So we formed up a league in Florissant area called the Florissant, and then also the Valley Leagues. My son volunteered me as a coach of the Bantams. I guess I'd coached too many of his other sports, and he thought I could coach anything. I've never ice skated. I still don't ice skate, but I did coach the Bantams and then on into the midgets. From there, the deal was to get the playing going beyond the youth level. There was one thing in the Bantam group. I had a young player by the name of Jim Burt. Jim had a younger brother called Jerry. Jerry wanted to play with his older brother, and I looked at him. The fact he had and owned a goalie uniform, he was an in. So he became my goalie. We did some scrimmaging and so forth, but as we got to our first game at Webster, it was an outdoor rink. Jerry got sick. Thank goodness it was outdoor rink, because we don't carry Burt buckets with us. He went on to become an exceptionally good hockey player, particularly a goalie. Then there was a young coach that came along the following year in the high school program by the name of Charlie Busenhart. I thought Charlie was going to go for 50 years, but he decided to call it quits at the age with 41 years of background. I see that Bruce Affleck's already left the podium up here, or the table. I was going to tell him that I still had his 25th anniversary blues watch given to me in 1992, and it still runs. And I was going to see if he was still running. About 4 years ago, when one of the high school playoffs at the Scotts Trade Center, my wife was returning from the restroom, and Al McInnes was standing there, and she tried to pass behind him. He stepped backwards and accidentally tripped her. The truth was, he thought she was coming in to score on him, and he did a hip check on her. I told this to Bernie Federico once, and he said, "Yeah, that's Al." Many long friends that I see here in the prior Hall of Famers were with me when we started the high school program 41 years ago with the 8 high schools. Following year, making it 28 high schools and 8 colleges in active league play. When Rick said that I went to 28 high school or 28 hockey games in 1 week, That was sometimes on a Saturday morning at 7 in the morning until I quit to go to the Blues game at 7 p.m. That was running the clock, looking at referees, seeing who was rated as a good referee. 21 high school games in 1 week, 3 Blues games, and 2 Billiken games. So that gives me a pretty good insight of what the people that are putting this Hall of Fame program together has gone through. It's a lot of administrative work. As Rick mentioned my family's names, he mentioned the name Zabin, and he said it 3 times. He wasn't repeating himself. There is really 3 Zabins. One of them, my favorite, is the great-grandson. My grandson is my power and my support. My daughters and son-in-law came in from Cincinnati area of Kentucky to be with me and is honored tonight. My wife, who also went to the same 28 hockey games that I went to, was my full support, and she's my love. We're into our 68th, 67th. I'd like to accept this honor tonight and kind of treat it as a memory to our son, who we miss very dearly. I thank you.